What's up, YouTube? It's Richie from Boston. It's the 26th. It's July. It's 2019, and we've already got 66 people in the chat. Let me mute that, and that number just changed exponentially. Nez Lover, Brian Stavely, can you guys hear me? Can you hear me? Jesse James, can you hear me? It always takes so long. Can you hear me? Yes, 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 yes. All right, good, good, good. Let me jump in the chat real quick because there's a lot of people that just popped up magically. Let's see. Julie Banks, what's up? Helen Hahn is in North Carolina. Nez Lover has the wrench. Strictly my opinion is waving. Illuminati Destroyer Crump. What's up, everybody? 8875 no. Fool me not. What's up, Chad Den Tant? Am I saying that right? Tyrone says we are 5 by 5. That is military terminology, meaning everything is well. All is A-OK. Brian Stavely said loud and clear, and he has the wrench, so don't mess about. Razor's Edge, I can hear you. Yes, you're a little too loud, actually. Asia Madra says hi from the UK. What's up? Karen Smith, Robert Ferguson, Liz M, Steve Foreman, Mark Wheeler, Plasma. Did I say that right? James Campbell, what's up? Snowland, what is up? Manny Pinocchio, that's funny. Please don't shout up. You dick. You tricked me with the little happy face and the coffee. Monica Morales. Super Secret Spy. All right, all right. John Cassidy, Tim Zaylor, Mike Mixed Select, James Duke, Roxy, I can't say that. Roxy P, how's that? Miss Asia, what's up? Back at you. Ron Sheckelson says, we do not consent. Yeah, we're going to have to get back on that because it's insane to me how many people that will pop into a live stream with absolutely zero notice. 600 people watching in 1 minute flat. That's amazing. But when you've got 340, 75,000 subscribers, that's the going rate. But I'm watching the subscribers go backwards. Every time I put out a live stream, we're losing 10,000 views. It's happening to everybody all across the board. They're basically erasing us. They're doing a good job. And for this particular live stream, I was just actually developing some film that I took today, developing it. I sound like I'm back at Kodak, the photo mat, whatever those things were. I got some video today in Salem, Massachusetts, and it's not the first time I've got video in Salem, Massachusetts. So I went to my Satanic Temple, a look inside video where I walked into the Satanic headquarters in Salem, Mass with a camera and started recording, even though they were telling me over and over to stop recording. I kept saying, I'm dumb. Look at me. I don't know. What words are you saying, etc. Long story short, I'm trying to pull up my own videos and I'm typing it in exactly by name and then Richie from Boston. At this point, Richie from Boston, remember the old days you type in R-I and it would auto finish and it would usually say Richie from Boston found dead? Well, they've changed that algorithm and you can't find anything whatsoever anymore. And it's by design. It is what it is. We're all going to have to figure something out. There's a bunch of us in the background talking, so we're going to try to figure something out. At any rate, check this out real quick. Sorry for the motorcycles. It is what it is. Stand by. Let's do a screen share here. Okay, remember this? Stand by, because you got to press all sorts of buttons to get Google to do anything because they make everything as hard as humanly possible. Everybody remembers this, right? Notre Dame, the cathedral on fire. The entire thing doesn't make any sense whatsoever at all. But it burned down. But long story short, Notre Dame on fire the way it was and what it looked like from the sky. If you look down with a drone or, whatever it is they use to get satellite looking photos, if you look down at Notre Dame, it was a giant cross burning. It was just one of the many rituals that they do. It's what these guys do. We come to expect it. It's no big deal. This was the latest thing, but let me remind you of something else. Do you guys remember this? the deepest, longest tunnel in the Alps that's right next to CERN. And this was what they presented us as a, like, Stavely, you can understand what I'm saying, right? Boston, the Big Dig. I don't recall them doing anything like this because they built a big tunnel, because nobody does like anything like this. Angela Merkel, all the top Illuminati presidents, prime ministers, and everything else flew in to attend this. These guys basically probably dug a doorway into the side of the pit or into one of the places where the fallen are, etc. And me saying that isn't me stretching the truth. The story that they told right here is basically what it says. They released everyone. They're showing the three spirits rising out of the pit, and then they show Satan raping a woman who's giving birth. I can't make this up. There's a dude, excuse me, with boobs and a baby head flying around on wings. Do you remember this? This was June 5th, 2016 on my channel. This was a while ago, but this still happened. I told you guys the other night in a live stream, if you want to take over an entire population, Earth is a big place. It's a great big place. There's a lot of us here, and there's a lot of people that still value their religion. Their religion basically dictates how they're going to live their lives. Not us so much, but it is what it is. You know what I mean? At least some of us are being made fun of because we know that Jesus Christ came here, died for our sins, was brutally tortured, hung on a cross, and bled for us. And all we had to do was believe in him. That's not a religion. To me, it's not. It's just I believe it. I know that somebody really phenomenal created everything. I know that the people that are running everything are going out of their way to take over and trick everybody. You can talk about any religious belief you want to, no problem. Everything's cool, but the only one that gets attacked is Christianity. There's a reason for that. Do you see what I'm saying? This entire thing right here with the people running around with sticks and goat heads and burning things and spinning eyes and creepy shit and rocks falling down and pits opening up and all seeing eyes everywhere. Yeah, it takes a lot to undo what God did. And if you want to get revelations in high gear, you got to do a lot of crap like this and this. Do you know what I'm saying? And it's exactly what they do. You think it's a complete and total coincidence that this kind of stuff is the news now? When I was a kid, this would never occur. And guess what? When I was a kid, it wasn't a perfect country, but it was a much better country. There was family. Everyone wasn't from a divorced family. Everyone had a parent for the most part. And everybody had a community and a neighborhood. And people watched each other's backs. And you didn't have to lock your doors, and etc. and etc. and etc. And slowly but surely, inch by inch, step by step, these guys just keep coming over and over and over and over and over and over. I've already explained this to you. I don't have it queued up right now, but 9/11 was an enormous, absolutely enormous satanic ritual, bank robbery. 9/11 was the best action movie ever. And it did so many things for these guys. They stole all the gold that was underneath it. They got to go to war. They already had the plans for war written up and on the president's desk before this even happened. They took the presidency away from Al Gore. They handed it to George W. Bush. They kept him playing golf and doing stupid things and signing NASCAR things until 9/11, when he was reading My Pet Goat upside down while children were chanting "Plane must hit steel." That happened. Taking down those two towers was 𝗲𝗂𝗋 and Boaz. They took them down and they put one up in its place. Do you see what I mean? They combined the two. And then they shot a missile into the Pentagon, and set that on fire. And then they killed a bunch of people. What's better than that? And then we went after Afghanistan, where they secured lithium and they secured heroin. And then they completely flooded the United States with heroin. But before they did that, they prepped everybody with their friends over at Big Pharma, and they flooded the place with OxyContin. stringing people out like research monkeys on OxyContin, and then they went to Afghanistan, opened up the poppy fields, put special forces all the way around it, and flooded the country. Everybody does heroin. You see what I'm saying? 9/11 was a multifaceted, unbelievable, still going on. Over 1 million people have died to this day because of this, and people don't even think about it anymore. It's insanity to me, but it is what it is. So these guys just stay at it nonstop because it's a big world. And if you want to go against God and you want to bring in the Antichrist and you want to get as many people to follow this system as you possibly can, it takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of work. Did you ever try to get 100 people to do something? Imagine getting the entire population of the earth to follow this crap. Well, they're doing it. They're doing it. It's showing up in town halls. It's shown up after school. This is old news. I showed you this. Call for an Uprising. A bunch of channels showed you this years ago. Still a thing. Still happening. No big deal. You see this thing? This is what I snuck into their temple and got actual video of. Oh, no, you didn't, Richie. That's ridiculous. You'd be afraid because they put satanic curses and its stuff on you. Well, they probably did, but I still did it. You know how you can tell? 10 days later, the video rebuffers. That's me right now videotaping inside the satanic temple, and you can hear her at the end say, oh, you can't have any cameras in here. Well, too late for that there, Starsky and Hutch, but I already got the video. This thing is still in Salem, Massachusetts. Now, why am I showing you this? Because I was in Salem, Massachusetts. Now, there's Christians that'll tell you stuff like, you know, the demons are here and so forth and so on. Without a doubt, absolutely, I completely believe it. Evil is all over this earth right now. It's rampant. Some of us specifically have run-ins with it in the middle of the night. Usually they call it sleep paralysis, but it's funny because sleep paralysis is a medical condition according to them, but apparently you can use faith, calling the name of Jesus Christ, and stop it, because I recently did that and it works. Again, let me screen share so I can show you. I was in Salem, Massachusetts today to get a windshield put in my truck because I'm trying to hit the road next week and my windshield has an enormous crack in it. I went there and waited 4 hours. Nobody showed up. Nobody called. They said we'd be there between 8 and 12. Nobody showed up. Nobody called. I got really agitated and I left, as I should, and I did. But on my way out, I just happened to catch a glimpse of this. Do you see this? This is right directly around the corner. And then there was a couple of them, but tell me what you see right here. I took this in my rear view mirror because I was almost away and I wanted to actually see if it reflected in the mirror. Look at this dude or thing or person. Oh, Richie, it's a homeless person. Yeah, you sure about that? You sure about that? Let's take a good look. Kind of strange clothing, not exactly. Oh, there we go. There we go. There we go. Yeah, he's just a dude, just chilling, just kicking it with absolutely no eyes at all, wearing a hooded cloak, etc., directly around the corner from this building, literally, quite literally. And as I was driving away, I saw several more, not quite as bad. This one was a good one. If you see this video, whatever it is you are, because this is the look you're going for, dude, hit your knees and beg to Jesus Christ to fill you with the Holy Spirit and remove this, because not only is it a bad look, it's a bad way to go, man. Eternity is forever, and the lie is large. 𝗲𝗵𝗋. It did show up in a mirror, but I mean, that totally freaked me out. So the only thing that I got done whatsoever this morning at all was that. And there's more of them. Because apparently in this day and age, this unbelievably disgusting temple to Satan, which is just full of disgusting things that they call art, is still standing, still cranking right along, no big deal. Every day these guys gain more power and more power and more power and more power. And every day we are censored more and more and more. Do you know what the main point of my channel is? And I'm pretty sure you can figure that out. It's to hit your knees. It's to find Jesus, even if you don't tell anybody. But the funny thing is once you get filled with the Holy Spirit, you have to tell everybody, and that's all there is to it. Why did I start talking about the full armor of God all the time? Was it because I used to have 𝗵𝗵𝗿𝗍 co-hosting with me every other day, and he talked about it? Negative. I did it because I started getting attacked in the middle of the night. Was it because I was in here videotaping this? Perhaps. I don't know, man. But this stuff is completely for real. And I mean, when you can videotape things like this, walking down the street and nobody's alarmed, it's no big deal. Yeah, I'm going to say things are getting wacky. And when I say things are getting wacky, do a little bit of a Google search, and it doesn't take very long at all. It pops up fast. It pops up really fast. This is in London. Shocking, right? These guys are like the Illuminati capital of the world. East London churches targeted in satanic arsons. This is brand new. 666 on the front of the door, setting things on fires, etching occult symbols, and so forth. This is in France. Shattered statues, satanic symbols mark rise in attacks on French churches, April 2nd, 2019. And then this occurred, April 15th, 2019, because they can't miss a satanic holiday. Speaking of, September is always a big one. Remember that 9/11 thing I was just talking about? Well, they can't stop us all. When is that? Do you see what I'm saying? And it's gaining more and more speed. This is getting totally, completely, and 100% out of hand. I'm not making these videos for the money. I'm not making these videos for the views, because it wouldn't matter how good of a video it is. I'm already targeted. You can tell that by my views. It's ridiculous. And yet, in less than, 10 minutes, we have 2,000 people watching live. You usually need a 500 to 1 million channel to pull those kind of numbers with zero notice. So we all know what's going on. Do you see what I'm saying? At any rate, if you think that's completely normal and I'm overreacting, well, then I don't know what to tell you. I don't scare very easily. I don't necessarily dig things that mess with me when I'm sleeping or in the dark, but I deal with them. But that ain't normal whatsoever at all. Because if it was, I wouldn't be videotaping it. Do you see what I'm saying? And if it was, it wouldn't be on my big demonetized YouTube channel. I'm showing you this because I'm catching a trend that seems to have been going on for a couple of years, and people got all upset about it when they were all concerned when it first came out. But guess what? It's still going on. These spells carry. These spells that they broadcast cast broadly. Do you see what I'm saying? Does that make sense? This ain't normal, man. This is the opening of a municipal. It's like putting in a big water main or building a bridge. You don't do this stuff. And they did. And it's insane. Look at this. Look at these people. This is not normal behavior. And yet heads of state flew in to see this. It's absolutely, totally insane. I mean, see the guy wearing the goat horns and his face is on fire and he has scarab beetles all over it? That's just me making things up. That's just fear porn. That wasn't real. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, actually, that was completely and totally real. It was so completely and totally real to the point that RT News, CNN said, were these guys doing a satanic ritual? Yes, actually they were. But they asked that question, so everyone goes, oh, everyone else knows, so it's no big deal. Keep moving. And that's what people are doing. They keep moving, and this stuff just keeps coming at us and at us and at us and at us. It's completely and totally insane. Now, if you notice right there in the middle of the Baphomet's lap, what did you just see? Where did that just go? Really? I need a butler, man. Stand by. In the middle of the Baphomet's stomach, do you see that staff right there, the DNA strand going up the middle? Does that make sense why all of a sudden little boys are turning into little girls and little girls are turning into little boys, etc.? Look up. I talk about it for a reason. Alex Jones picked up that entire meme and went with the frogs are turning gay. Hold on, watch this. I'll do this in person so you can see it. They're turning the frogs gay. His job was to take any story that anybody else might take and show everybody and make it look stupid with his big fat cookie jar head. That was his job, and they paid him millions to do it. They didn't take Alex Jones down. He spilled the beans on Joe Rogan when Joe said, Alex, you were getting ready to pull the plug anyway. Well, yeah, I didn't want to die at 50 years old having a heart attack, doing all this stuff with all this stress. If you're in this for the right reasons, you're in this till the wheels fall off. You're in this when they demonetize you. You're in this when they take your subs away. You're in this when they don't tell people where your channel is or where your own videos are, even if you put the name in by title. Do you see what I'm saying? Walk down the street and people know who you are. It's embarrassing, but it is what it is. I'll carry it. They hated Jesus. I can handle being embarrassed. You know what I'm saying? At any rate, I think that's the most crazy thing that I've seen all day. And I was highly agitated when I drove away and I just happened to roll right up on this dude. If I wasn't where I was, I never would have seen this. Are you shitting me? And it's funny because it was on a Friday. Do you remember the satanic crazy lady that attacked me with my cell phone a couple of Fridays ago? Yeah. And she straight up said it. I'm with Satan. Yeah. They hate us. They hate us. And it's so hard not to hate them back because I have issues with that. But I guess I will digress on that. At any rate, guys, hit that like button, hit the share button, see if we can move this. I doubt it, but might as well try. I'm not going to go down without swinging a few times. We jump back in the chat right quick. 𝗏𝗏𝗱𝗆. I said the same thing, and I say the same thing. I say something stupid, and then I say, forgive me. So I really hope God rolls like that. We Are Dust is in the chat. Mikey Likes It's in the chat. Lath Taylor is in the chat. Digital Assassin. Digital Assassin. Robert Cornell, what's up, brother? Thugspiracy TV. Indeed, man. New York, what's up, brother? I'm trying to read from a far distance away. Watch, you want to see? Want to see what I look like when Richie's blind at night? It's not stopping. That's crazy. Crazy. Yeah, that was a totally normal opening ceremony for a public highway. All this. Unbelievable. And people just forget about it. It goes down the memory hole. At any rate. Hadley, Cape Breton, I will. David McCain, what's up? Origami, Monique Margot, Carol Brooks, Adam from Christ, Ange Walker, Ike Diaz says, we do not consent. Truckers Weather, what's up? CNO73, as long as you're repenting. Right? That's, I hope. Tyler Wilson, Kyle, Horsewoman 2000. Horsewoman 2000. What's up, Rebel? Shannon Wolf, Peter Stiffing, Tiffany G, and there's 1,700 people. There's no way I can read all your names. Plus, it starts spinning and it freaks me out. And I have it on slow for everybody that was yelling at me to slow down the chat. The demonic influence is obvious to some, says JT, right? I mean, I saw that a mile away. You saw me zoom in, and I thought it was pretty clever to, instead of pointing the camera right at it, I put it in the rear view because I wanted to see if it would show up, and it did. So I guess that's a good thing, but I don't know. Yeah, be done. Good one right there. Be done just left a comment in all caps that said, God judges you by your heart. All right. Well, a lot of you have had a chance to meet me. It's a big United States. I drive a really old truck. I try. I haven't met you all, but I've met a lot of you. And most of you realize I'm not really all that friendly. I try, but I can only go for so long. And that sentence, God judges you by your heart, that scares me to death. It totally, completely, and 100% scares me to death. Because me, you, everybody, even though I try to take the fluoride out of my water with that big stainless steel water filter, even though I don't eat anything that comes out of a box, things that are prepared, chemicals, all that crap, I try. All of us are breathing in barium, strontium, aluminum. All of us are still ingesting fluoride. All of us still got one point or another in our life. Who knows what kind of damage it did? Most of us did drugs at some point. Most of us still probably drank. I don't drink. I'm not good at drinking. I get fresh. But it breaks you down, man. It breaks you down on the inside, and that's exactly what they're doing. That's the long game. There's a lot of people. If you want to take over a country that has a larger force than you do, you use propaganda for however long it takes. You remember the ex-CIA KGB guy that I put up here, that really old video? And he's like, what whomever is doing to the United States, we would have only done it for 5 years and they would have been ready. He's like, they've been doing it to them for like 20 years. Americans are turning on themselves. It wasn't like that when I was a kid. People are triggered and sheltered. And it's absolutely unbelievable to me how well the social engineering has turned people. Like, they don't even realize that everything that I just showed you is the news. Call it fear porn, call it whatever you want. It isn't my fault that I noticed this and go, wow, man, this is bad. Apropos, huh? Sodom and Gomorrah. And yes, there's a lot of evidence that that absolutely, completely, and totally happened. Round Saturn's eye was actually out there, I believe, in person, and he picked up pieces on the ground of sulfur that came from the sky that still burn with a touch of a flame to this day. God rained fire. Do you know how much it would suck if it rained fire? But how many of you sitting here watching this creepy thing, listening to my voice right now, would be shocked if it started raining hail with brimstone? Like, seriously, we don't deserve it? I saw a 6 foot. I live in a place where the population is like 2,300 people, and yet we have 2 resident 6'3" blonde-haired dudes with a heavier beard than I have and boobs. That is totally, totally inaccurate for the population, but they're popping up absolutely everywhere. God's not going to dig that, and believe it or not, I don't either. I don't find any value in that. I'm not cool about it. Somebody left a comment saying, your cousin would be ashamed that you're so angry about. Yeah, well, guess what? I'm not my cousin. I don't care what my cousin, I don't bring my cousins up. This woman did, but I promptly deleted her. But I mean, it's ridiculous. I have no, it is what it is. It is what it is, but I'm not going to condone it, and I'm not going to push it. And I'm going to keep telling people exactly what John Hopkins told people. It's a mental disorder that should be treated. And instead, it's like they're spreading the flu on purpose, or worse. At any rate, Richie from Boston, I'm going to bed. Like, share, subscribe, but it doesn't make any difference.